right. Well, gentlemen, I do have Mr. Warner online. Good morning to you, Mr. Warner.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Mr. Warner.
Of course, we have Paul Richards, and of course, Richard Raghu Basi.
Yep.
Long time no see. You looked well last night. You're keeping yourself well. How are you?
Well, the Lord has been kind to me. Very kind.
Amen. Tell us about how this reconciliation evolved and took place. I spoke to you about 4 years ago, and as we well know, that wasn't your perspective, but times change. I guess people have different perspectives at different times in their lives. Who reached out to who? How did this reconciliation with Mrs. Pusabi-Sessa come about?
I think it was a mutual affair. We were at a choker fit earlier in the year, and she was there and I was there, and we gravitated towards each other. We shook hands and we exchanged pleasantries, and that was the beginning.
And what was the main factor after that initial meeting and exchange of pleasantries that you decided, well, maybe this is a good time to take it further?
Paul, as I'm sure you will agree, that after that, one had to look at the state of the country, and one had to agree that the country had never been so bad. One has to look at the level of unemployment. One has to look at the amount of young people who are leaving the country in droves, and they are our brightest people, by the way. One has to look at the behavior and the mannerism of the Prime Minister to criticisms or to other persons. And generally speaking, crime is out of control, home invasions, and the list goes on and on. I mean, the infrastructure, and it's not getting better by the day, Paul, it's getting worse. It's against that background, therefore, that anybody, and let me say it before I say this, that there are people who will sit on the fence and criticize the government morning, noon, and night and do nothing about it. They will be angry, but they will not come out and stand and be counted. Well, I choose not to do that. I decided that I will come out. I will renew my bonds with the UNC, and I shall fight to make this country a better place.
How do you reconcile, because politics, as Paul was saying, politics in Trinidad and Tobago is almost like a blood sport in terms of how the words and mudslinging flows back and forth depending on whatever election is on. But how do you reconcile the very public departure that you would have had from the UNC, including the point of Munilal, Rudy Munilal at one point saying that you were undercover operative for the PNM when you formed the ILP back a few years ago, and now rejoining and having to deal with Dr. Munilal and stuff? How do politicians manage to put all of those things under the bridge?
But I don't think that is too difficult. I think that you as difficult as you make it sound. The fact is that one has to sit down and make a judicious decision in terms of where one wants the country to go. One has to sit down and decide: am I going to continue with the hatred and the dislike with the UNC, or am I going to compromise with them and try to get them to understand that we have to put our heads together to have change? Let me say this to you quickly. Unless we all come together, I mean this very seriously, all come together for the common good, this country will not survive. And in that context, therefore, I'm saying that it's not difficult. Look, all these memes and all these posts in social media and so on, they don't bother me anymore, because people have gone past that. The country has gone past the stage where people use posts and memes and Jack Warner didn't like Kamala, and Kamala didn't like Jack Warner, and Gary Griffith and Jack Warner. People have passed that. People now are concerned in how they can improve their lives. And we must get there and discuss with the people how we shall help them to improve their lives.
You have said in the past that you should take people at their word. So is it that we should disregard those very strong words and sentiments you meted out against Mrs. Pusabi-Sessa over the last 10 years? And in your have you been able to in yourself resolve the concerns you've had about Mrs. Pusabi-Sessa as a leader? Because you've made some very strong statements about her leadership.
Sure. I'm aware of all I said. But the fact is, the times have changed. We cannot continue. Hold on to the past and not accepting change. And because of that, we have reached a point where I'm saying that we have the past is behind us. Nobody's perfect, Paul, and at least, of course, me. And unless we decide that nothing is gained by staying as we are, by keeping the status quo, then of course we shall all perish.
The meeting last night, you focused a lot on the major issues, the crime, the unemployment, but you also delved into the political peacock. Is that the kind of campaign that you are going to be engaging in moving forward?
Well, as I said last night, my style will be different. Yes. Paul, I have an overseas call here, right? I have to take it. I have an overseas call here. Hold on for a minute, please.
Sure. So that's Austin Jack Warner. We'll be coming back on the line.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello. He's gone to on a phone on overseas.
Okay. All right. No problem. Thank you.
You call back or are you holding on?
We'll hold. If it's okay.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you. So we're holding for Mr. Warner to come back on the line. Because these are the questions that people are going to ask. And I mean, the same questions we've asked of Gary Griffith, because he's also had some strong statements about Mrs. Pasabi-Sessa. But as Mr. Warner said, I guess different people have different approaches to life philosophies and acrimonies in the past. And we'll see how it evolves.
All politicians are a special breed.
All politicians are a special breed. Fortunately, I'm a legislator. I'm not a politician.
They can forgive, the flick of a wrist, they're forgiven.
Deliberately on, in this instance, Gonzalez and Young. And the innuendo, the negativity, not that they may not have been, the other sides may not have been guilty of this thing, but is this the kind of campaign you intend to wage until August 14th and beyond?
Far from it. I intend to tell people how we can improve their lives. I intend to tell people how we can collect the garbage that surrounds their homes, how we can clear their drains. I intend to tell people how we can at least maintain or keep their community centers. I intend to tell people how we will cut the grass in the cemeteries and the recreation ground, and how we shall have, based on our collective efforts, how we shall have to make a difference. That should be. I was a bit negative in the end last night because Stuart Young always gets at me, and I reach the stage where I want to put him in his place, and even Gonzalez, who I've been saying here, I say it on the platform, but Gonzalez also too. I'm prepared to hit those two. I'm prepared to hit and to hit mercilessly whenever they raise theirs.
But is it hit? Is it anything goes? Innuendo, or is it about whether you think they're performing in their capacities or not? Or is anything fair game for you?
I at this stage, probably played by ear and see how it goes. If it means innuendos, then so be it. If it means their lack of performance, then so be it. Whatever it is, we shall play by ear as the time goes.
So is anything goes depending on what comes into your head then?
I didn't say that. I gave you a long list of things we shall do and tell people about how we improve in their lives. I couldn't tell you, I won't tell you, and don't put in my mouth, Paul, that anything goes.
No, I'm not saying, I'm just trying to clarify.
That's not the way responsible people behave.
Okay. What about the ILP? You said last night on the platform also that at some point you're going to disband the ILP and fully reintegrate into the UNC. You have a timeline on that?
I think that should be done within the next month or so, if not less. We are meeting in 2 weeks' time. I've already called the meeting, and in 2 weeks' time we shall meet and we make a decision on it.
So is it that is this an admission that you don't think the ILP in its present construct can make a difference and reintegration of the UNC is the best way forward? Is that what it is?
This time has proven that this is a two-party country. I mean, ONL saw that, not a damn seat for them. The COP saw that, not a damn seat for them. The ILP saw that, not a damn seat for them. And as well meaning as these small parties are at the moment, they too shall fall by the wayside, because this country is a two-party country.
You have never wavered in your support for Gary Griffith. Is it that you're going to be working with the NTA or with both the UNC and the NTA?
I'm working with both of them. I'm working with the NTA as of this afternoon. I'm going into Lupino and other places in Bonnier West. I'm going to San Fernando on Thursday. I'm going to Moruga on Wednesday. I'm walking all over the country, Paul, carrying the message of political change.
So is this now basically because many are suggesting that this local government election is really not on the scale of a normal local government election. It's really the start of a campaign to 2025. Are those sentiments you share?
I prefer to say that this is a dress rehearsal for the big stage in 2025.
Oh, okay. So you see yourself continuing past August 14th with the UNC and the NT?
Almost definitely, until the objective has been achieved. This is not, of course, a 9-day wonder. This is a deliberate move of mine to bring political change in the country.
Gary Griffith has said that he is not against the PNM, but he's against Dr. Keith Rowley. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the PNM's biggest liability is Dr. Rowley. Had he not been there, or had he not performed so badly, a lot of people today who are bitter would not have been. And therefore, as far as what Gary has said, in some ways, that is the truth. The PNM of Patrick Manning is no more. The PNM of Eric Williams is no more. And the PNM of Keith Rowley is the one that is at present and will most surely cause the demise of the party.
Now, your issues outside this country are no secret. Do you think that those issues will have any bearing on your credibility on platforms heading to August 14th and beyond?
Look, let's face it. I have been in a fight with the U.S. since 2011. Today is 2023, and the case hasn't started yet. And I am overjoyed by the fact that the magistrate, last magistrate, I think Ricardo has the name, said that in so many words, he said that the extradition, right, is I won't say a forgery, but it's a mockery. And she chided the AG on it, and I was happy to hear her say so. I have been in FIFA for 30 years. FIFA never said anything about me. I have been in the CFA for 40 years. No one said anything about me thieving any money. I have been in the TNTFA for 50 years. Same comments. And if the US believe that because I didn't help them to win a World Cup venue, that I must be vilified and I must be, of course, incarcerated as a result of that, then we shall fight in the court. And in the court will decide who is right and who is wrong. I am convinced, however, that in the end, justice shall prevail. At a tremendous cost to me, of course, but justice shall prevail.
What about those who suggest, well, go to the US and clear your name?
Why US doesn't come here? And US is here trying to make me clear my name. Why should I go to the US? Any history, and if you know the history of the US, and even Guantanamo Bay in Cuba, any history of the US will tell you that you do have a chance. Once, of course, they believe that they want you at all costs, you do have a chance. The history has shown that. And I mean, Paul, you're a man who I believe you are right. You are widely read. Look at the U.S. history and see for yourself if what you just said makes sense.
So is it that you don't think you'll get a fair trial in the U.S.?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It would be remiss of us to have you on and not ask you about the local football fortunes and your thoughts on those.
I regret to tell you that the local football is such a low level that it shall not rise again. As far as I see it, it shall not rise again to the heights it had before in our collective lifetime. FIFA is same thing, holding them by the I don't want to say it here, but FIFA holding them at ransom after 5 years having a normalization committee. This is unheard of, unprecedented. The standard of football is also very low in the secondary school, in the regional associations. The referee is also low, and therefore I don't think that football shall rise to the heights that we had in the past in a short time. It shall not.
Why do you think FIFA have this stance with the local football fraternity?
Simply because the fact that they're not performing. If they were performing, people like winners. If they were performing, if they had training programs that would, of course, produce quality players, people would support them. when it was in the 80s and 90s, I had a deliberate youth program that produced the Latapis and the Yorks of this world. And you have to, therefore, go back to a situation where you begin to train players. There is no quick fix in football, Paul. You don't have instant success, like instant coffee, instant Nescafe, and so on. You don't have that. You have to work, you have to build. You have to have a vision, a 4-year vision, and build. And when you build, you shall be able to get quality players that shall lift the level of football in the country. You can't call, I am sure you can't call 5 national football players. You can't. You know why you can't? Because there are none.
You're right, I can't.
What do you think of Angus Eve as the coach?
Angus Eve needs help. Plenty help. I sometimes empathize with him. He means well, but he needs serious help. At the end of the day, you realize that unless we get some serious foreign assistance in our technical development, we shall not improve our football.
Mr. Warner, thanks for being with us this morning. We hope to be talking to you closer to the August 14th poll, and be safe.
Okay, Paul. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Warner. All the best to you.
Okay, man.
All right. Take care.